What's going on, you guys? My name is Hartley, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the stocks that are at the top of my watch list this week. I'm also going to give you a brief run through of the market conditions as we head into Monday. Here is everything you need to know. Let's go. Alright, first of all, this is just my opinion. You need to do your own research, and this video is for educational purposes only. However, the markets are at all-time highs. All of our indexes, the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow Jones, the three indexes that I use to basically get a gauge and a sense of the market, all three of them are either at or near their all-time highs, and unfortunately, so are the COVID numbers. So let's dive right into the charts. All right, so the first one here is the NASDAQ, and this white line here is the pre-COVID high. We dropped from about 9,700 down to 6,700, and we are now trading at over 12,500 as we closed out on Friday. What's really neat here is in the last week, we have pushed through that previous high that was set in September, and now the NASDAQ, which is a largely technology-focused index, is trading at an all-time high, which is really nice to see. We also have the S&P 500 trading at an all-time high. Again, you can see it has beat out its pre-COVID highs marked in this large white line right here. We had a little bit of resistance, again, same as the NASDAQ, some resistance set back in September. However, in the last week, we have pushed through, and we are now sitting at all-time highs in both the NASDAQ and the S&P. The Dow Jones looks pretty much similar, and unfortunately, COVID numbers look like they're at their all-time highs as well. So this was pulled from worldometer.com, just a simple screenshot, and as you can see, the last day that it measured, probably December 4th, maybe December 3rd, was an all-time record day for daily new cases in the United States. It looks pretty much the same no matter where you look. It's really not a good sign. COVID numbers are still on the rise. However, we are hearing about more and more positive COVID vaccine news. So it's kind of like a dueling numbers game where the COVID numbers are going up, but so is optimism and success and testing around a vaccine to handle COVID. So kind of a unique and interesting situation, but all of the indexes are at all-time highs. Now, here are the trades that I made this week. I had a phenomenal week. If you watched any of my previous videos, especially my small account challenge, you'll know that I entered options on Blink charging as well as Switchback Energy, which is now ChargePoint. And so I did extremely well on both of these. We made 78% and 208% on both Blink and SBE. I could have made a whole lot more. Unfortunately, I held them just a little bit too long, and I did get out at these percentages. I also posted all three of these exits into my Discord chat, so if you're interested in double checking any of this, all of the posts are in the Discord chat as to when I actually made these. I also sold out on Field Trip. This is a magic mushroom stock. I made 23% on this one, and all of these I may get back into later this month because I do see some optimism and some positive things in both of these industries, but I did extremely well. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing my entire portfolio, these are the holdings that I have right now. I'm doing extremely well on MindMed. As you can see, I'm in at 64 cents. I'm also into Very Good Butchers at $4.18, currently trading at like $8.86. I'm also into Flight on the stock, and I'm also in the warrants. So that's Drone Delivery Canada, and I also have a couple smaller positions that are up 4, up 1, and then down 5%. This is Electronic Arts, kind of EA Sports, the video game company. They're actually on the watch list this week, and I'm going to tell you why I bought into them a little bit later in this video, but right now I want to tell you about my Discord chat and my watch list. So this is where I am sharing all of my technical analysis, my weekly watch list, as well as building a group chat, and I'm trying to basically set this up to be a community of traders that want to share their resources, share their trading ideas, and help everybody grow as one unit. And so if you are interested in signing up for this, it's one group chat where I share everything that I possibly can, and I try to get everybody else to share as much of their resources, their knowledge, and their trade ideas as they can. It is $5 per month, and you can sign up through my website. You can also click that little join button next to the subscribe button here on YouTube. And the idea here is that I'm trying to help everybody by giving them a community so that you're not sitting at your desk alone with nobody to talk to and no trading ideas and nobody to bounce some ideas off of. This can be your sounding board, so definitely consider it if you're at home alone trading. Now, let's get into the stocks. So like I mentioned, I got into EA this week. I actually bought the options in them because I saw some interesting things forming here on the chart. So as you can see, 2020 turns right here, and we have a little bit of a high basically established here in January. And then as you can see, the stock plummets all the way down to $85, probably caused by the dip that everything saw during COVID, and then it rallied from $85 to a high of $147. Since then, my analysis is showing me that it's trading in a little bit of a downward channel right here. And so what I see is a downward channel right here set by lower highs. So you can see we started at 147, 140, and then 135. And as you can see, the price has come all the way back down to this 115 level, which is exactly where the high was prior to COVID. And so I think that this 115 level has acted as support. We're now seeing a bounce off of 115. We've crossed over both of the moving averages. We've got a crossover in the MACD right here. The RSI is looking really good, and I think we have just broken through this trend line. So what I've done is I have bought options that are, I think, 2 or 3 months out on Electronic Arts right now, and if we see this price continue to move upwards in this direction here, I'm going to do extremely well on them, and I'm planning to sell them when we hit resistance around the 140, 145 range, but we should do okay on them. I'm down 5% right now, but not really a big deal. I'm currently in Electronic Arts, but the next one that I'm really excited about, and I'm also in right now, is Drone Delivery Canada. So I bring this one up because I think there's a good opportunity. They put out an announcement this week where they just raised about $12 million, and those investors are institutional investors that are getting into the stock at 88 cents. And as you can see, the stock had a little bit of a pullback this week. So it gapped up from about 89 cents. It went to a high of $1.10 the next day, and now it has pulled back to 90 cents. And as you can see, the investors that are institutional investors that have been doing research on this company, that have watched it for years, are in at 88 cents. And now come Monday, if the stock opens up to the same level, you can get in at 90 cents. And I think that is a fantastic deal. I'm in down here at 65 cents. I really like that position. And I also own the warrant, so I'm not adding to my position here. But if you don't have a position yet in Drone Delivery Canada, I do think there is an opportunity there on this pullback, because I think this stock is going to go higher over the medium to long term. Nobody knows what's going to happen this week, but I do think there's some value at 90 cents. Now, next up, we are getting into the magic mushroom industry, and I'm bringing this up because I think there is massive, massive value here. I think this is going to be the next cannabis industry, and I think that if you can get in now and get your trades in early, if this industry grabs the same kind of attention that cannabis did, we are going to see a large influx of cash, possibly to the extent of overvaluation, and that is where you may want to exit. But I do think this industry has the potential to be that next basically trendy industry that everybody is looking at, and so far it has not been that way. And one of the stocks that I want to show you is Revive Therapeutics, because they have not had any crazy run-ups like what MindMed has. So if you look at this stock over the last kind of 6 months, you can see it is basically traded at this 16, 17 level back in July and August here, and then again in October and November. Since then, it has moved from the 16 to 18 cent range all the way up to 31 cents. So it has almost doubled in price over the last kind of 2 months, but that is nothing compared to some of the other magic mushroom companies. And so for that reason, we are now pushing up against previous resistance that was established in September and October. If we see a breakthrough of this 31 cent level, that is where I think I'm going to be entering the stock, because I do think that this company has a ton of room to run, especially if you can get a trade in here early, get in before 35 cents. If we see the attention start to shift to the magic mushroom industry, like what we saw in cannabis, I think this company has a lot of room to run, just like the next one here, Red Light Holland. So these guys are based in Canada, their headquarters is in Canada, but they just bought operations and sales in the Netherlands. So they own and now run a basically manufacturing facility, a grow facility for these magic mushrooms. They sell them in Europe, in the Netherlands, and they're basically trying to expand their business model. And so I am really, really interested in the technicals here, because as you can see, we've got very, very clear support here around 6 cents. We had a nice little push up here in October where the price hit a high of around 11.50, maybe 12 cents here, came all the way back down to 6 cents, and then it tested it again, and now we may have a higher low established right here around 9 cents. We'll see how the stock opens on Monday or Tuesday, but this is definitely one that is at the top of my radar for getting in on a position. I think there's a ton of opportunity here as well. And the last one is Cybin Inc. So this is one of the smaller companies. They just recently IPO'd. There isn't a ton of volume on this stock, but as you can see, they're trading as high as $1.20. They fell all the way down to 64 cents, and now they are pushing that $1.20 basically level of resistance again. They had a little bit of a breakthrough. They closed higher than that previous resistance on the close of Friday, and so we'll see what happens on Monday. If it continues this run, I think I am going to take a position here as well. If you look at the entire industry as a whole, all of these companies are moving up, and so I think there's a big, big opportunity here. I think we're seeing a little bit of a shift from the cannabis space into the magic mushroom space. I think a lot of institutional money is starting to come in here and see the opportunity as well. And so I think as a retail investor, we have a massive opportunity to get in here young, get in here early, get in here at the beginning of the industry, and get in here at some very cheap share prices. I think there's a big opportunity. Now, the last company that I want to point out is Hyllion Holdings. I did lose some money on this company. I think I lost like 8%, maybe 9% on this trade. So obviously everybody loses money. This is a loser for me. However, I am now interested in getting back into this company because I was wrong, but the stock has fallen right back down to this $18 level of support. It closed out on Friday at $18.03. It basically tested this level back at the beginning of November, and now I am super interested, because if we see even a little bit of a reversal here, I think it has room to push higher. I think this industry industry is hot. I think there's going to be a lot of attention to it over the next kind of 2 or 3 years, and I think Hyllion Holdings is well positioned to take advantage of the truck market, especially while Tesla is ramping up their production. I don't think Tesla is going to be able to make a large market impact for the next kind of 2 or 3 years, whereas I think Hyllion can kind of hit the ground running, and if they can develop the technology, I think there's a lot of potential there to basically compete in a different market, but still in that truck space. So I do like the company, and if we can see it bounce off the support here around this $18 mark, I think there's a great opportunity for a swing trade, at least up to this kind of 26, 27 level, if not holding it long term for a push even higher. Now, if you guys are interested in learning how to read the charts a little bit better and understand these companies a little bit better, I do have a completely free course. It is hosted on Skillshare, and you get the first 2 weeks free when you sign up for a trial. After that, it's about $20 per month, but you can cancel it anytime. So if you can do the entire 8-hour course in under 2 weeks, you can get the entire thing for free. I promise you, it will be the best free resource you have ever found in your life. There's over 550 students, over 40 reviews now, and there's a link down below in the description if you would like to sign up for it. I highly encourage it. But in summary, you need to be keeping an eye on COVID. Those numbers are going up really quickly, and if we go into more and more lockdowns in North America, Europe, and other places around the world, it could have a massive impact on the stock market, so you need to be aware of that, and you may want to consider your liquidation strategy in case that happens. Next is that I think the mushroom stocks are going to be the next weed stocks, not the next weak stocks, the next weed stocks. What I mean by that is that weed was basically a hype play. Everybody got in because they thought it was going to be the next gold rush. These stocks went from $10 to $100, and now they trade at $5. I think that could be what happens with the magic mushrooms. Hopefully people have learned their lesson, so it isn't going to be quite the same extent, but I do think that if we start hearing about some FDA approvals and some companies really get some traction, it could draw a lot of attention, and it could lead to an influx of cash flow, and you're going to want to be in these companies now so that you can sell out when they are overvalued, and you're not trying to contemplate whether you should be buying in or not at that point. So that is how I am going to be playing it. I will be making some investments into the mushroom space probably over the next couple of weeks. I do think there's a big opportunity there, but with everything going on, you guys need to stay safe. That is definitely the #1 priority. And if you get any value out of this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It sincerely helps out my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Good luck trading.